Hey, what's up, Pit Crew? So I just got a brand new scanner and been testing it out, and I definitely already got my money's worth out of it. So if you're anyone like me and you run a car rental or you got a fleet like I do, then you already know one bag diagnostic guess can cost you days of downtime and hundreds in lost revenue over the course of the month. So I'm gonna show you guys the scanner that I have and how it's changed the way that I manage my fleet, and I'm able to, with precision now, diagnose a lot of these issues that arise with the car. So I got the Autel Max, the Autel MS906 Max. So I'm gonna show you guys, just walk you guys through some quick stuff so you can see the benefits of it and why you probably want a better scanner for your fleet. Right now at Luxe Motion, we have 12 vehicles. I manage multiple cars. I do some of the maintenance on these cars. Some of the maintenance goes out to my mobile mechanics and mechanics that we do have. Body shop work, I take that to the body shop, of course, but some of these wear and tear issues I handle and knock out myself because I feel like they're small enough, and I don't always want to rely on the shop, especially for small things, because what'll happen is you'll just start bleeding out a lot of money on the back end if you're taking your vehicles to mechanics, especially for small, simple, replaceable sensors. So my pain point is I had a $50 scan OBD2 scanner before, and with that $50 scanner, yeah, I can see what's wrong with the car. I can see and clear codes, but it never told me what was wrong with the vehicle. So let's say your car is stumbling or something. Is it stumbling because of an injector? Is it stumbling because of a fuel filter? Is it stumbling because of a fuel pump? Is it stumbling because you have a misfire and you need to change the spark plug? Is it stumbling because of an old coil? So with the better scanner, it's able to pinpoint and tell you in detail usually what the issue is and what you're having going on. So my pain point was I had a cheap scanner and it didn't do a lot of the stuff that I actually needed it to do at any advanced level. So for me, I needed a shop level tablet or scanner, or whatever you want to call it, that was designed for deeper diagnostics, service resets like for bleeding brakes and oil changes and stuff like that. So I also wanted something that did a little bit of coding and maybe a very, very, very small amount of programming. So with the Autel MS906 Max, I'm able to do full system scan. So it'll read every single module in the car, because you have your BCM, TCM, you'll have your body module, you'll have ADAS systems, the list goes on and on. So I wanted a scanner that had bi-directional testing, meaning that I could command certain parts to move or to come on or to turn on the test, like let's say certain valves in your transmission to see, what the issue is with the transmission, or to test fans to come on or different, solenoids and such. The other pieces, I needed something that had live graphing because I wanted to see when that issue arises, and I wanted to see what the parameters were within the engine. So let's say if you have an O2 sensor that's dying, you'd be able to see what the upstream O2 sensor numbers are at, and then you'd be able to see what the downstream O2 sensors are at. And that'll kind of give you an idea of what's going on and which sensor's messed up, or it could not be a sensor and maybe you just have a clogged catalytic converter. Well, for us, it definitely takes out a lot of the guesswork, and I'm able to have a much more intelligent conversation with my mobile mechanics, because some of them don't even have scanners as nice as the scanner that I have. And so it's easy for us now to plug in our scanner and then get a full run system scan and instantly see which modules are at fault, be it the engine, transmission, ABS, or any of the body modules. And then addition to that, it gives me protection when I go out to the auctions to purchase vehicles, because now I can see in depthly if this transmission that on this vehicle, if it has shutters or if it has a valve that's going out or something. Or I can see, hidden things such as what mileage a person removed the trouble code, and then how many miles have been driven on a car since that trouble code has been removed. So if the trouble code was removed, 2 miles, but then they didn't actually change out or fix the problem, then I'm able to go into the scanner and see that. The other thing is I can also knock out my services on my vehicles with efficiency. So when a car comes back from a rental, I can scan it before relisting it, especially if it's been on a long-term rental for, say, 2 or 3 months. I can scan it, see if there's anything that popped up, and go from there. So what I was going to do now is I was going to actually take you guys through a real world situation. So I just had a renter come back. He called last night saying, hey, the car is acting horrible. It's acting funny. And so the few days before that, the car was acting funny, acting up. Ended up being just the battery. So because these cars are have so many electronics, so many modules in them now, when the battery gets low and they start losing voltage, the whole entire car might start acting wonky sometimes, because a lot of those modules are expecting a certain level of voltage running through the car. And so when that voltage drops, all hell usually breaks loose. So that was an easy fix. It was only like $150, $60 for the battery. But in this instance, they were out and about, they're driving the car, and they said that the car was stumbling and such. So I told them, just, hang tight, we'll come pick the car up. So take you guys to the process here. So as you can see, I'm in my Nissan Rogue. So we're going to go to the auto detect, and we'll turn this up some to make sure you guys can. Oh, we're at the max, huh? All right. Got a slight little glare. Oh, let me put the car in the on position too. So right now the scanner is doing the auto detect, and what it'll do is it'll go into the ECM and figure out what's established communication with the vehicle. So in this section, you have different sections, right? You have, or in this menu, you have different sections. You have auto scan. I can go straight into certain units on the vehicle. I can look at live data. Hot functions are where I can make changes and adjustments. Codings where I can make changes and adjustments. Like if you unlock the door, you could press a certain button and all the windows may roll down. Or it could be your stay-at-home light. So after you hit the key fob to lock the car, you could change settings like the lights to stay on for 30 seconds or a minute and 30 seconds. I notice every single vehicle has its own amount of settings or hidden features that you can go into. Then you have more advanced features where you can make other adjustments. NATs, that's for your immobilizers and keys. You can't really copy keys so much with this unit. This one's not really built for that, but in any event, let's go back to our original discussion here, which was scanning for a code. So renter says that the vehicle was acting up, stumbling and bumbling, and they wouldn't get any power when they're hitting the gas. And so what's happening now is the scanner's going through every single inch of the vehicle, right? It's checking the BCM, the TCM, it's checking the PCM, it's checking every single module that's in the vehicle. So as you can see here, we've got one fault at the top, right? But as I go through the rest of these, we have no faults. There are nothing else wrong with the vehicle. If no response means that the vehicle doesn't have that feature, or that feature isn't available. And so first thing that pops up is P0101 mass airflow sensor. So now I know that it's a mass airflow sensor problem. So I can do one of two things. I can go in, clean the mass airflow sensor and see if the code disappears, clear it, or I can just go get a whole new mass airflow sensor and be done with it. So what I'm showing you guys now is I'm going to the actual trouble code, and I go to the freeze frame. So what the freeze frame is telling me is it's giving me pertinent information about when and how the code happened. So some of this stuff, I'll be honest, I don't know what it means. Like the cal LD value, I have no clue what that means there. But the coolant temperature, that's within range, right? So this happened at 183 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm looking at the long-term fuel trim, 97%. That is on point for me. Short-term fuel, nothing jumps out. So now I can see my guests, when they were driving the vehicle, they were at 2,100 RPMs on the engine. So I believe this car has a red line of about 6,000. So that lets me know that they weren't driving the car hard or fast or anything. The intake manifold pressure is within spec at 0.15. This Absol TH-P/S, that is absolute throttle position sensor, meaning that the throttle he was at 45%. So, if I'd seen this at 100 and the miles per hour were some ridiculous, and I'd say, okay, this was negligence. You guys were out there racing or doing something you had no business doing. But from what I can tell, they were just cruising, because you're at 18 miles an hour, 2,100 RPMs, and the throttle was only at 45%. So I don't think anyone was out there doing anything crazy. Then you have your internal temperature on the air that's coming into the intake manifold. That was at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what B fuel schedule is. 10, I'm not sure. I'll have to research what that is. And the rest of these numbers, I'm not sure what that is either. But essentially, with precision, I can say that I strongly believe that this is just a mass airflow sensor. And once we change that out or clean up the one that's already in the car, we will be good to go. So this is the reason why, and I'm not going to get all technical in the features of the scanner, but this is the reason why you really want a good scanner if you're an operator, because you'll be able to, with precision, really see what's wrong with your vehicle, what's happening with it, what's going on. And it could save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. So just go into this last setting for you guys real quick. So this here will tell you, as you can see, because I haven't started the engine yet, but the coolant temperature sensor is saying that it's 57 degrees. It's about right, because it's about 50s right now where I'm at. So the battery voltage, because I have the car on, about 12. I'm showing 12.3 up there in the corner. Intake sensor showing 66 degrees. Once again, I don't have the car on right now, but once I turn on the car, like, you'll see engine speed here. So the engine speed just went up, and you can hear the car's running hard as heck right now. It's stumbling. I hit the gas. So once again, I think that's just a dirty, and it cut off. So I just think that it needs a new mass airflow sensor, and the filter might need to be cleaned as well. Getting the Max 906 by Autel has been great for us. I know some people hate that they have subscriptions and such, but I'll be truthful. For me, I've only had this unit for maybe 3 weeks, and already I took it to the auction, bought a couple cars based on the good report that I found. Was able to diagnose 2 other cars great. Now, the 3rd week of me owning it, I'm able to diagnose another car with ease. So for me, the economic impact of less downtime has been great. It's really saved me from having to tow a car 2 cars the other week and having unnecessary shop bills. It's helped out tremendously with me making smarter purchases at the auction. And I think that down the road, it's going to help out in having and making easier sales with the vehicles, because I'd be able to do, let's say, a pre and a post scan report for individuals and say, hey, as you can see, there hasn't been any codes or anything malfunction on the car, and the car is actually running well. Here's the report. So I definitely would say, for anyone who's an operator in the rental car space, definitely get you a good scanner. Spend the money. I don't know if you need to necessarily spend $1,300 on the scanner, but to me, it's definitely worth the money, because there's so many in-depth settings and features and such that I can do, and it helps us out tremendously. And tools like this, I don't think that they're just a toy, or I don't think that they're just something that you want to sleep on. I think that they're more so an investment in the infrastructure in your business, and you're going to get the return on the investment. So If you want me to break down how I inspect, cars at auction, I can give you guys a step-by-step on how I use the scanner for that. Just make sure you hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, and, leave a comment. Let me know what works for you guys, what hasn't been working, and, what other types of videos you guys would want to see as well. So I appreciate you guys as always. So stay renting.